Hey, the other day I saw on YouTube that there's a Glacier Bay power flush that can flush 7 billion balls, and mine keep clotting. So I took mine out and bought this one and hope it will flush better. Also, this one has 1.28 GPF instead of the standard one 1.6 GPF, which saved me some water and lowered the water bill. So here we look around the balls, make sure there's no ding and damage, so it look good outside. Let's go and look inside. Here it says if anything damaged or missing, don't return back to the store, but instead call the 1855 number. Let's open it up, and there's a handle on both sides. You can just pull the handle up, the top part, and this is how it look like. Here we have the tank by itself, and just the tank by itself and nothing else. Look inside, everything looks good. Next, let's take a look of what's underneath the box. Here you have the toilet bowl, and inside the package are some hardware with a wax ring inside the white box and the manual. On the side of the toilet bowl, we have a toilet box. Inside is a toilet seat, and let's open it up, make sure there is. Yep, it's a toilet seat. It came with it. Pretty nice. It looks like it's plastic, not wood. Don't expect too much for that price. Just put it back for now. Next, let's see. We have a small box next to the toilet bowl, and let's open it up. Oh, it's the tank cover. It covers the tank we just took out earlier on the top. And be careful not to drop it. It will break. It's porcelain. Alright, let's put it away first. Next, let's take out the toilet bowl from the box. It's quite heavy. It's not light at all. Be careful. Don't drop it. And this is how it looks like upside down. And let's go around and take a look. It has a blue tape in the front. I don't know what that means. Also, this is a elongated toilet bowl, not the round one. Some people like the round one, but I like the elongated one. So I like how it looks. This is what it comes. We have a tank with the cover and a toilet seat, installation manual, a wax ring with some hardware tool, and cap cover. Here the wax ring is wrapped around by a plastic bag. It's the front and the back. Here's some of the hardware tool to install the toilet. And this is the bowl cap that covers the bowl after you install it. After opening up the wrap bag, I have two floor bowl with a nut on the top, and this for installing the toilet to the floor, and also have two washer. I just put on some new flooring, the new tile, and the flange is lower than the surface of the tile, so I have to put spacer to accommodate the toilet. So I put on some silicone caulk, and this is the one I use, and around the flange of the toilet, so the spacer will stick to the flange. The silicone I'm putting is right next to the opening of the hole to keep the water from going outside. Now I'm getting the spacer, and before I put in, make sure that the opening on both sides, the two slot matches the slot on the flange, and just push it in and let it dry, and that's it. Make sure it's tight. While waiting for it dry, I get an empty water bottle to cover the hole from sewage air coming out from the pipe. Now I'm figuring out where to put the two floor bolt correctly, and I'm measuring the distance from the wall to where the bowl is supposed to be. It has to be parallel on both sides, otherwise the toilet will be crooked. So here I measure the distance on both sides. Then I use a pencil to draw a line or a mark. Next I'm going to grab a ruler and draw a straight line So that's where exactly the two floor bolt gonna be located. And use a tape measure to double check the measure of the line against the wall and of the two bolts, and they look good to me. Now I'll be putting the bolt in perpendicular to the flange by securing the little nut on the spacer and make sure it's tight. Okay, done with the one on the right. Now the next one on the left. Put it on the line, tighten it with the nut, and everything is secure. To make the job easier, I put in some masking tape right outside next to the two bolt with the line through, because it's very difficult to see when you are putting in the toilet. The two holes matches the two bolt, so this marking on the side, it helped me to guide where the two holes of the toilet to go in. By the way, I have to buy this extra thick reinforcement with wax ring and bolt. It's not because the wax ring, it's all because the bolt came with it aren't long enough. So I need an extra long bolt because of the spacer. You need a longer bolt. It doesn't fit right. And here the wax ring that came with it. The price of the two long bolts alone almost the same price as this whole package. Comes with the wax ring, so I bought this package from Home Depot. Now it's time to put the wax ring to the toilet, and lay the toilet on the side and put the wax ring center to the hole and push it in so the wax ring will stay attached to the base of the toilet. The reason I lay the toilet on the side instead of upside down, you see that it's a lot easier to carry the toilet like this because the toilet is pretty heavy, and this way you can easily pick up the toilet and center the two hole of the toilet matches the two lines I drew on the floor. And carefully align the two holes of the toilet to let the two bolts to go through the two holes with the help of the two lines I drew on the floor. Here I'm not pushing the toilet down to compress the wax ring because I want to make sure that the toilet is aligned properly against the wall. So I went and get a tape measure and measure the distance on both sides against the wall and make sure that they are equals. After the measurements are correct, I try to push the toilet down, use some force to compress the toilet ring. After the ring is compressed, do not adjust the toilet or you may get a water leak. Here I double check the measurement of the toilet bowl against the wall and make sure it is perpendicular to the wall and both sides have the same measurements. Next is to secure the plastic disc, and it will say this side up, so make sure that this side faces upward and put it through the bowl. Then you put a metal washer next on top of it. Next will be the floor bolt, they call the wing nut, and you have to turn it clockwise and go all the way down to the bottom. And I'm not tightening it yet until I finish the other side. On the left side, just repeat the same process. First the plastic disc, and then the metal washer, and then the wing nut. Turn it clockwise all the way down to the bottom. I keep turning clockwise until I can't turn anymore, but I'm not tightening it yet. And then I move back to the right side, and it's now time to turn clockwise to tighten the bolt. Double check to make sure it's tight and it won't move. Then go back to the left side and to tighten the bolt by turning it clockwise until you can't turn anymore, and make sure it's tight and won't move and secure. Since the bolt is too long for the bolt cap, I have to shorten it. So I need to cut off the top using a hacksaw, and with one hand on the left You hold the bolt from dislocate while using the hacksaw to cut off the top part. It took me some time to cut it off, and finally it came off. Double check again, make sure the nut is tight. Finally, I can put in the bolt cap and fit right in. Repeat the same procedure on the left side to cut down the extra bolt. And after some cutting, finally it came off. Time to put the cap in. Here I'm using a lever to make sure that the toilet is level and is all level. Next is to install the tank, and the tank came with 2 wing nuts and 2 washers. They both are attached to the bottom of the tank, so remember to remove it before you do the installations. And put it away and don't lose it. Next, and you will have the plastic cap which cover the opening of the water supply to the tank. Unscrew it and take it away, don't need any more. Align the 2 hole and the opening of the tank to the 2 holes and opening of the toilet and put it on top of it. Make sure that they align properly, and by wiggling it, and it's not secure yet, so the next thing is to secure it. So you go underneath the top of the toilet bowl the same way you do to the floor bowl. First put in the washer, and then use the other finger hold the washer and put in the wing nut and turn clockwise until it's tight. The right side is done, the left side is the same way, same method. Put in the washer first, then the wing nut, tighten it up all the way to the top until it stops. Go back to the right and turn clockwise all the way. Same apply to the left side. Tighten the wing nut until I can't turn it anymore. Check the tank by wiggling it. It looks pretty stable. On the left side of the tank, there's a black cap. Remember to remove it. That cap is to cover the whole of the water inlet to the tank. The water supply line you see is not included in the box, so you have to buy it. The size is 3/8 by 7/8 inches. First, I connect one end of the water supply line to the tank and turn it clockwise until I can't turn anymore. Then I connect to the other end of the water supply line to the water shut-off valve. I also hand tighten it until it won't turn anymore. After all this done, I turn on the water supply to check, make sure that there's no leak on either side of the connections. I can hear the water is filling up the tank. Here's the actual time frame for the water to fill up the empty tank the first time. It took about 38 seconds before you hear the water stop. This is the tank cover. On the back it will say, warning, no bleach tablet. Do not drop in toilet bowl cleaner containing bleach. Here I found a small hole. I'm not sure what's that for. Probably used for casting the lid. But anyway, just put the lid on top of the tank and cover the tank. Finally, this is the last step of installation, the toilet seat. This is a piece of plastic. It's not heavy, pretty light. There's nothing special. It comes with the seat and the cover. Let's take a look at what's inside this plastic bag. Let me open it. And you will find a set of bolt with washer and lock nut. I'm disassembling them and get it ready for installations. To install the toilet seat, go to the end of the toilet seat. There are two little square stuff with a lid on. Just open up the lid. You will find the hole for the bowl to go through. Matches the hole to the toilet bowl. With one finger, lift up the lid. The other hand, put in the toilet bowl, and then repeat the same step on the left side. Underneath, put in the plastic washer. You need both hands, one holding the washer, the other is the lock nut. Then turn it clockwise all the way until it stops. To tighten it, you have to use a flathead screwdriver with one hand holding the nut, the other hand on top. Turn the screwdriver clockwise until it's tight. After finishing the right side, time for the left side. The same step I'm going to do. Put in the plastic washer, put in the lock nut, turn clockwise all the way until it stops. On top, use a flathead screwdriver, turn it clockwise with the other hand holding the nut to tighten it. Then I'm checking on the toilet seat, make sure that it's all tight and secure. Open up the lid, close the lid, everything's fine. And there are two clear plastic cover on both sides on top of the seat. I'm removing it. I'm not sure what that's for. Probably protect the seat from scratching. The toilet seat now works. So the last thing is just close the two lids at the end of the seat to cover the bowls. The final step is to show you how to put shim to fix the wobbly toilet because the floor is not 100% flat between tiles. Like other people, I want to find out what option I can do. I look up on YouTube and find most people recommend using shim. They are plastic and wood, so which one should I pick? I pick up the plastic one instead of the wood, and it costs a little bit more of the plastic. Wood shim is not a good idea because of water, and it may rot eventually. I then made several adjustments with the shim until it tightly fit into the gap. The toilet now is solidly stable. Then my next question is, how should I cut off the excess part of the shim? You know the edge of the toilet is curved and not straight, and it was difficult to cut it with a box cutter and to curve the way along the edge of the toilet. Like you see in this video by another YouTuber, how many times you have to cut that plastic. As you see, it's not that easy to cut that plastic shim, and I'm even at risk of cutting myself. So what's the other way to remove the excess part besides cutting it with a sharp object? After some thinking, I find an easy and fast way to remove the excess shim. That is using this, the soldering iron. It will make a perfect cut along the edges of the toilet without the risk of cutting yourself. It doesn't cost that much. It's around $10 in Amazon, and we'll put a link in my descriptions. Like what I'm doing now is when the gun got heat up, and you just push it and do it slowly and gradually and let the heat melt the plastic. Don't push it down so much or force it in because it may scratch the tile or the toilet. Just let the heat do the job gradually and slowly. If you watch this video and you see how long it takes to remove the plastic, I didn't fast forward it, and I just let you know the exact time it takes to remove those plastic shrimps. Finally, this one come off is perfectly along the edges, perfect cut. One done, one more to go. Let's do it again. Finally, this piece come off also. Take a closer look of the edges of the cut and see how it look like. It's safer than cutting yourself, but the gun is very hot, so be careful not to burn yourself. Again, be careful not to burn yourself or burn anything that around it. Last but not the least is to chalk the toilet base to the tile floor. I used that $25 chalk I bought from Home Depot and just go around the base. I didn't chalk the back of the toilet bowl and leave that open in case there's a leak between the seal and the pipe, and the water will come out that way instead of keeping inside the toilet under the base and get moldy and bacteria growth. Clean up the chalk accidental left on the towel and on the toilet. And that's the final product. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like button. Thank you.